Yes, because you can't, is there anything, could you do an evening event for me?
I possibly can. Let me double check now.
Okay. I have a client in Cape Creek.
Okay.
They're selling their home.
Uh-huh.
They're a little overwhelmed by all of the craziness, but
Hey, everybody!
Oh, not yet?
Sometimes
Okay.
we're going live. We're ready.
coming in.
One,
Facebook though.
2, 3.
No, I didn't.
Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Ryder. This is Chef Jude.
Hi, everyone.
That is Beth
Hi,
Ryder.
everybody. Welcome.
We're so happy that you guys are joining us tonight. We have a menu that is varied. We've got salmon right here, some beautiful slices of salmon. Now you could have had the big slab or cut a half a slab, or like we have the smaller cedar planks, right, Chef?
Yeah, we broke our salmon down for our cedar planks. What we've done so far, I hope everyone's got their cedar planks soaked in wood, preferably for about an hour or so.
Cooked in water.
Soaked in wood. Water.
Wood soaked in water.
Everyone's alive now.
And we hope you've turned on your grill. If you haven't turned on your grill, the grill guy needs to go out and turn on the grill. Right, Chef?
That is correct. Let's get that thing turned on. Let's get it going nice and hot. So let's turn it on high right away. If you have not turned it on, you can go ahead and pull your cedar planks out of the water. We're going to need to dry these off slightly, because what we're going to do first is we're going to char these really quick, pretty fast, pretty high for the sake of time today. Our recipe, about 5 to 8 minutes. What we want to do is we want to release the cedar out of these wood planks. Therefore, that'll transfer into our salmon as we're cooking. So we're smoking with these technically and not using like a little smoke box or a Traeger or the green egg. You seen that fancy thing?
I've seen the green egg. So we're actually using the cedar plank
to direct heat smoke. Correct.
Perfect.
Yep.
I was wondering how we were doing that.
Yep.
A lot of you might have thought we were having smoked salmon.
Right, which is a little different. So there's hot and cold smoking. Today we're going to be doing a hot smoking preparation for our salad.
And we even have a little twist of 2 different types of dressing. So you can go maybe one way
That
with
is
your
correct.
salad. Or if you want to do like a taco, which I'm going to do.
There we go. Or we could go another way with that as well.
What's that?
With your tacos. So one, we got a nice citrus vinaigrette
Okay.
that pairs well with our smoked salmon over mixed greens, or even the creamy jalapeno.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's the
that'll
one
be-
that kind of got me,
Either one. So like we said, we're going to take this one simple thing and make 2 different variations of it. What the tacos basically is, what do we do with the leftovers, right? What an easy way to come home after a long day. You have the smoked salmon that you're not really feeling like a salad again, but we'll show you another way how you can just take this ingredients and a couple other additives and make something delicious with it as well.
Margarita is sounding like it's in my future.
That was last month.
All
right.
right.
All right. So what do we need to do to get
What
started?
we need to do is what we've done. If everyone at home has a cedar plank that is big enough to fit your entire salmon half, or if you have to cut that down a little bit, I cut mine down so that way I can lay the salmon on here and that'll fit nicely without it charring, hanging off the edge too much. But I mean, putting them together like this, you could do. I wouldn't recommend it, because as we lift these up, the chances of them breaking apart and falling and losing your salmon on the ground will be high. Therefore, I broke the salmon down into individual pieces. One, it's going to help with the cooking process to be a little bit faster. 2, it's going to allow more cedar smoke flavor to enter the salmons, right? Because now there's less flesh for it to absorb, right? Instead of in the middle of your salmon, might not collect all that flavor that we're looking for, right? So a couple different things that we did, make sure that they'll fit on here. So everyone's got their grill on. We've got these things out. What we want to do is we basically want to pat them dry slightly.
Let's take it down.
And yeah, that'll work.
And what's the French phrase for having everything set up?
Our mise en place.
Our mise en place.
That's
I hope
right.
you have your
Yes.
sour cream.
The piece of everything to be successful this evening. So all we're doing, basically just nice little pat down, just kind of drying. We don't want them to be dry. The reason we soak the planks in wood is so that the whole piece of wood is absorbed in the water. Therefore, it doesn't burn and catch on fire while we're grilling, right? Because we are direct heat cooking in this. So now that these guys are ready, let's go ahead and head out to the grill real quick.
All right. Field trip.
So we got our grill going. It's nice and hot out here. It's going real nice, real hot. What we're gonna want to do is we're just gonna want to let these guys sit on here. Let them get going. All we're doing is we're charring them slightly. So we're gonna want to just barely get them going. We don't want to do both sides, just because then that way you don't get all that char mark on your salmon side.
So would it be smart to go ahead and maybe get some tongs and bring out some cooking tongs?
Get some tongs.
'Cause it's gonna get hot,
I
right?
usually use my tongs. Yep.
Okay.
Some people need their tongs, but they're definitely going to go that. Let's let this go, and we're
Yeah,
going to kind of
let it
let
all
that
go.
char up a
And
minute.
we're
We'll
gonna
go in.
about, what, a couple 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, those are going nice and high, so we're going to probably do about 4, maybe 5 minutes at the most. Well, we're going to be able to do this process, which will make it easier. Is instead of bringing our cedar planks back in, what we're going to want to do is while that's going, let's go ahead and season our salmon, right?
Let's do it.
Perfect.
Everyone's got their seasoned blend going. We sent them all out. So just dump them all into a bowl, do a nice mixture and get it going. For this, you do a nice dusting, a coating. Not too much, not too little. You know, my wife's always saying I under season everything. I says, well, then put a little more in there. You can't over season it technically. The only thing you can do is over salt it.
Yes,
Over pepper.
agreed.
But as far as our other flavors, you know, the paprika, the cayenne pepper, we definitely don't want to overdo that. But all the other things together, we want to make sure that we get a nice, good amount on there so that way it's going to catch all that in there as it's cooking. Save this for an extra time, and that goes great on all sorts of stuff. Shrimp, chicken, anytime you want to grill, anytime you want to saute. Now you have your own seasoned blend right in your cabinet.
Perfect.
So this guy, there's working. We can go out and check on our planks,
Okay.
see how those guys are doing.
Go through those. Perfect.
They're starting to dry out slightly. You can start to smell that cedar a little bit, which is good. But these guys are ready to go. I'm gonna want to just lay our salmons on, skin side down. You can take the skin off if you like. The reason I like to leave mine on is so that way when it's done and you go to peel that salmon off that board, any skin that sticks to it, not a big deal. Right?
Exactly. You don't want to lose any good salmon.
That's right. We want to leave a little bit of spacing in between them, not crowding them too much. Making sure that there is enough space, that we're not trying to hang off the edge too much, but we want to allow that smoke flavor to enter all sides of the salmon if possible. So since we are doing a hot smoke like this, we are going to want to be conscious of the time. We're going to want to be conscious of this wood dries up. What happens to dry wood
Right.
catches on fire, right?
I was just wondering that.
So we're going to want to be able to keep an eye on that. So what we'll do is these guys are doing their thing. We'll let them ride for a little bit.
And really, what do we have our grill set for now?
Right now
that
we're
it's
on
hot?
right now we're on hot. So temperature wise, we want to be about 375.
Okay.
Right. So it is hot. 350, you're okay. If you're any lower than 350, cooking process just takes less time.
Okay.
Right. So since our time is valuable today, we're going to go a little bit faster than normal.
Gotcha.
So if you got lots of time on your hands, I recommend definitely if you could go at 300 and let this go longer, all you're going to do is incorporate more smoke flavor into the salmon.
And without the worry of burning. the wood.
Correct. Absolutely. So we've turned this down to about a medium heat. So that way we don't have to be on it like a cheeseburger, right? All that fat comes out on the cheeseburger.
Exactly.
You got to watch the grill a whole lot. So here it's going to do its thing. We're make sure we close our lid because that's going to help capture the smoke.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Do we
Absolutely.
want to leave any of that out here?
We'll bring it all in.
Okay.
I got a sheet pan for when we're ready.
Perfect.
So we can come back inside. We can get our salad dressing working.
Welcome back. Looks like we've got the salmon doing just perfectly fine.
Salmon's doing its thing. No worries there.
Down for you.
Why, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Next up on the list, we want to get our fancy
We call
Food
this a
process-
food processor,
food
right?
processor out here. I was gonna call it the mixer thing, as some
I
people
don't
don't
use
know.
it too often. What are some of the things we can use for a food processor?
This thing does a lot of stuff. You can make pico de gallo real quick. You can make shredded cabbage really quick. You can make dressings like we're gonna do right now. You can make whipped cream. So remember last time we used the big stand-up
Right.
countertop mixer. You can use the handheld mixer. This thing can do it just as
Well,
And then
that's
what
it.
about soup?
you
really
could puree soup. I would recommend anything you put in here that is hot, be very, very careful because as soon as you turn this on, the expansion of that heat will expand, therefore coming out the top. So be very careful if that's the case.
Yeah.
So pureeing anything, right? If you want to make a puree of mango or pineapple to coat on chicken or salmon, you could grill some pineapple, throw it in here, turn it to a nice puree consistency, applesauce, so to speak,
Right.
and then use that as a glaze to go over pretty much anything.
Okay.
So, which one we want to do first?
I say we do the citrus.
Do the citrus one? All right, we can do that. So with this guy, what we want to do is we're going to want to get the juice of an orange, a lemon, and a lime. The easiest way to get the juice out of these is when they're whole, smush them and rub them. All we're doing is we're breaking up the flesh of the inside. So feel how soft and mushy that is.
I
See how
heard
firm?
you were supposed to do that, and
See
I
how
always
firm that
do
is?
it, but I didn't know if it was really working. It works.
See how soft we just made
Wow.
that instantly?
Okay, that is a big difference. So you really want to do that.
Because what's going to happen is it'll allow us to get all of the juice out of it.
Great idea.
Right? So we need a bowl.
So that's what I do with my water every morning is I roll it and I slice it and then swoosh. I always think they're so juicy, but maybe it's the prep.
There was the prep. So then we'll cut these guys in half. Another trick I want to show you as well is some people use like a juicer, right?
Mhm.
If you don't have one,
Yes, we do.
we can make one by this guy, right?
Okay.
So all you would do is set this guy in here. And now you're able to squeeze all the juice out of there.
And you have a little leverage.
A little bit more than just your hand, right?
That's a great idea.
So that's a little easy way to do it. Since we've smushed it enough, I think my hand strength's gonna be able to get as much of this out as we can, which is perfect. Remember the seed trick? So if you're afraid of catching any seeds, use your little strainer there.
Fingers as the strainer. Got it.
Mhm.
Perfect.
I don't see any seeds in these guys.
And this really punches up the citrus flavor by putting in real citrus. as opposed to
Absolutely.
Some juice.
Another thing you can do too is once you have that grill that's nice and hot, cut these in half, get a little char on there, and then we just took the flavor to a whole nother level with a
Oh.
charred citrus vinegar.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
The charred citrus vinegar.
And Jennifer, how many people do we have joining us today?
I think about 10 or 15 people out there. We really appreciate you guys logging in tonight.
Absolutely. Welcome.
We're going to give you some really good choices for that salmon.
And does anyone have any questions? Is everybody following along so far? Do you have your salmon on the grill?
Do you have your wine opened and poured?
I do not.
Oh,
I prefer just ice cold water on a nice hot day like today.
It
That's
was pretty
perfect.
warm here today.
All right, we need some olive oil.
Does anyone have any questions? Are we doing good over there? People monitoring our Facebook? All right, perfect.
You want to use that one or this one?
either one, the big one or the small one?
Let's see how much we're gonna need today. We're gonna need only a half a cup. We got about,
Oh,
we're a little shy on a half a cup there, so we'll use this guy.
Is this not gonna work though?
Nope, not for this one.
Okay, we're gonna go into this skin right here and hopefully have a backup plan. No, we have a shortage of olive oil.
What?
Here, we'll be all right. What do we got here?
We have almond. We have a little bit of.
That will work. What else do we got? What's this one?
This one is
Peanut, orange. Here, what we have here and that probably will work. This is canola, so
and then I have almond. Ladies and gentlemen,
we got blend.
Even,
We got oil blend.
even the chefs now and again can run a little low. How about I've got avocado too?
We can use that as well.
Avocado, almond, and olive.
Improvise.
That's right. So remember when we're making salad dressings, using pure olive oil is going to be very pungent, right? So we want to be able to capitalize using the citrus. We want that citrus to come out more than anything. So using a canola oil, salad oil is a good alternative to that, so that way it's not so pungent in the olive oil flavor. So we're able to really use a lighter oil that will allow the citrus to be the highlight of the dressing.
And what would be the difference? We have like an avocado oil, and then we've got almond, right? Olive oil, and now canola. Why would we use a different one for a different thing?
Well, like we talked about when we were frying, so different oils
heat
have,
level.
correct, right? So that would be a difference. Why you wouldn't use olive oil in your baking, because you don't want your cakes to have the olive oil flavor. That's why cooking with olive oil would be the best alternative than using just your regular salad oil or canola oil or something like that. Peanut oil is a great one for frying. A lot of people like to use
fry
that. Mhm.
Because it gets a little out.
That's
So how are
right.
we gonna improvise with we were a little short on our olive oil.
We need
today.
about a half a cup, it says. So we'll start with this guy. We'll finish this guy, and then we'll go into the avocado oil, because this will be more similar to our olive oil than anything out of what we have going on.
Perfect.
So first, we're gonna want to put in this, our juice here.
Perfect.
We're gonna want to do the zest of a lemon. When zesting, you want to make sure that you're only getting the skin and not the pith. The pith is the white part on the inside of the zest. Reason being is the white part's very bitter. All the flavor is on this outside piece out here.
Good to know.
So as you're just gonna go and keep turning it with
Catching just the top.
just the outside of it, correct? And we don't want it to be bitter. We want it to be very pungent in citrus flavor. And using zest as opposed to just strictly the juices, what a world of difference of how much flavor that lemon zest has. Orange zest, lime zest, the zest of the fruit is very, very strong. So using that as opposed to just the inside.
Okay.
And so if you wanted to use a little bit of the orange zest,
We
a
could-
little bit of the lime zest, just to give it a real kicker.
Absolutely. You could use the zest of all of it if you wanted to. Remember that the zest is a lot stronger than the juice itself. So by using it lightly, right? So try not to use all of it if that's the case. For the amount that we're doing, you want to make more, by all means, make more.
Absolutely.
So we got our zest, we have our juice in there. We need some honey, I believe. What else we got in here? We need some balsamic. And we need, let's see, we have our spice blend, which is gonna be the mustard, the salt, and the cayenne for a little zip,
We have some
a
balsamic.
little bit of balsamic. So we're gonna add this in there. And how much honey are we gonna need?
We are gonna need 1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon of honey. So we're gonna add these ingredients. So where's my tablespoon? About there. What else we got? Everything else.
We have
in
the
there.
cayenne pepper, we have mustard,
Yep,
is
that's
that already in there?
Yep,
The
that's
white,
in.
it's white balsamic, that's not white.
We'll leave this out. The juice that we have in there will be our
Probably
acidic,
good.
so that's okay.
Shallot,
And a little bit of shallot.
1 tablespoon.
So let's get this guy real quick. Get these guys as small as possible. Food processor should be able to break these up as much as possible. We want to break it down enough for it. Tablespoon.
We need a pinch of sea salt,
Yeah, I got that.
Do you have
One,
that?
yep, that one's in the, just
Okay,
the
and
black
the ground-
pepper. Yep.
freshly ground pepper.
Little black pepper in here. There we go.
All right, so check your list. The olive oil, lemon, the juices from the orange, the lemon, the lime, the mustard, white balsamic, honey, cayenne pepper, shallot, sea salt, and pepper.
Yep.
Everybody have it?
So what we want to do is we want to blend this first before we add our oil to it.
Where did that come from?
So when making dressings, there's 2 different kinds of dressings. There's a permanent emulsification and there's a temporary emulsification. The difference between the two is one will stay permanently as we blend. After we blend, we refrigerate, it'll stay in that consistency, right?
Okay.
Caesar
And not
dressing,
separate.
ranch dressing, right?
Okay.
So your balsamic vinaigrettes, your Italian dressing, you see how it separates. It's a temporary emulsification, means that it emulsifies for a short period of time, but over time separates. The oils separate from everything else, right? So when doing this, once we're on, you just want to, at a consistent pace, add our oil to it. What this does by slowly adding it is it incorporates the oil into our liquid so that that way it's going to give it a consistency instead of it just being kind of like a watery mess, so to speak. But you see how it's starting to kind of bind together, right? So it is binding. Now, a little trick when making salad dressings is you never want to taste your dressing by itself. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you never eat the salad dressing by itself. You always eat it with something, right?
That is very true.
So,
I wouldn't just put my finger
in order to find out what you're looking for, you always want to taste it with a piece of lettuce of what you're going to mix in. The reason being is that'll tell you if you need to put a little bit sweet, a little bit of something else,
Really good.
right?
That's
What do we
great.
think? I think it needs a little more sweetness to it. A little more
I
kind
think so too. I think that it tastes more like oil. I
Mhm.
mean, feels like a.
You can get the citrus to it.
oil.
We're gonna add a little bit of more honey to it. While we're at it, you might as well.
I would have to get a little bit extra.
We need a little more citrus to it.
I taste a little bit of that cayenne
Right on the end.
right on the end. Okay, that's really good.
So that just that
Because
little,
it's sweet.
just that little hint on the end
Mhm.
is
Right.
what that leaves on the palate. It's what makes you want more. If you wanna go back
Very
for
good.
another one.
I really like that. I like that punch on the end.
Mhm. So let's see about that there then.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. I think we need.
Really
one-
good.
I think we need one more lemon.
One more lemon.
Yeah. I want it to be citrusy. So we'll do this. We'll take the zest of this
Okay,
one.
perfect. Oh, because that will give us a little bit stronger flavor.
Correct.
Boy, I could see you could use that vinaigrette on just a salad
By itself,
by itself. Really, really good.
just by, and like I said, you want to enhance that flavor, cut it in half and throw it out on that grill really quick and change that profile of your salad dressing to really take it up a notch.
Yeah, great tip.
Mhm.
How to change it up.
Here, we'll just start with the zest and go from there. Smells more lemony.
Yeah, thank you. Mm.
You could taste the lemon. a lot.
Yes, a lot more. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I like the
that's
finish
better.
now. Mhm.
Okay.
And I like how you added that extra lemon zest, because I think it took us there quicker than just putting
Than
more
just put
lemon
juice in there.
it.
Yeah, we would have been trying to find more juice, right?
Right.
So the zest
I like
was
that.
a lot faster to get there. So we'll take this and
This one's a little damp too.
so let's put this in a bowl. Let's then go out and take a peek at our salmon.
It looks fantastic.
So since we slowly added
Wow.
that
looks
oil, you
great.
see how there's a consistency, right? You see how it emulsified, it allowed it all to bind together.
While you go out there, do you want me to rinse this? for
Yeah,
you?
let's rinse that
Okay,
and we will come back in and we'll make our other dressing. Let's go
perfect.
take
So
a
if you
look.
guys have a sous chef, have them clean it.
Have them clean
Clean
it.
them
Go ahead.
under while we do that.
Let's go take a look at the salmon.
Do you need your top?
We might as well. Thank you. Mm. Oh, look at this. Look at this. This is what we're looking for. See this opaque flavor here? See how we've got all the fat coming out of the salmon? These are done. We don't want these to go any longer over that direct heat. See how our wood, nice and charred here, created a lot of smoke in there. What we're going to do now is we're going to kill the heat. We're going to close this lid. We're going to move our salmon planks right back over where that heat was at, so that way we can allow some more smoking flavor while we go in and make our other dressing. Yeah, if you start to see that fat coming out of the top here, salmon's done. I know a lot of people wonder why their fish is dry. That's why it's done. No more cooking time. All right, let's let it smoke away, shall we? How are we doing in here?
We are good, just cleaning up our tools.
Ahead and get our creamy jalapeno dressing going.
Perfect.
This guy's a little bit different. This one is one that the ingredients that we're making and adding into it, we're just going to be able to add and blend. We don't have to worry too much about, you know, blending it well like we did with the olive oil, right? So we got this guy. And what we need here is we're going to need some jalapenos, nice and chopped up a little bit there. We're going to need some cilantro, some Greek yogurt, or today we're going to do a little sour cream. If we were going to use this, either way would go fine. Since we're going to kind of use this more for the tacos, the sour cream might be a better bet. Because the Greek yogurt has that tartness to it, or it's going to leave that little tang on the palate in the back of the tongue, where it won't blend as well as if the sour cream will be just like a smooth palate teaser, so to speak.
Okay.
Instead of just leaving this tartness, you'll be eating it wondering what's so tart.
Right.
So that's the
Okay.
Greek yogurt, which is good for a salad purpose, right? So
Right, but
yeah.
also good to dip your salmon in it, right?
absolutely.
Okay, so.
So what else we need? We need that, and we need a little salt, a little bit of water, a little garlic.
So we need just to go through your list, we
Yep.
need the cilantro, fresh cilantro, the sour cream or Greek yogurt,
Or Greek yogurt.
chopped jalapeno,
Jalapeno,
garlic cloves,
garlic.
salt and water.
Okay. Water's to thin out a little bit.
Perfect,
So-
that's a little not so thick.
Right. We got our garlic here. I got this guy already chopped up for us. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our whole ingredients here first. Actually, we put a little bit of water into this guy for me.
Absolutely.
There we go. I'm gonna put a little bit in here at first, just so we can help blend this together. What we're doing now is we're gonna break down that jalapeno and the cilantro more. Like I said, pico de gallo, we're done. That's
Oh,
all we needed, right?
wow,
Add some
I like
tomato to
that.
that and you're ready to go. So then we're gonna add how much of this do we need, Beth? Half a cup, full cup?
We are in a half a cup.
Smell that jalapeno.
I know, it smells so good.
Delicious. Add our salt now. Over there. Pinch of salt.
Perfect.
Like I said, the water will be just to blend it. So let's pulse it around. Thing on. See how thick our consistency is? Get a spatula here, scrape the sides down. So depending on how thick you want it, right? So this is a not bad consistency. I'm gonna put just a little bit of water in there so it'll kind of thin it out slightly, and that's all you're doing. And again, from this point, you can add, I mean, essentially whatever you want to, right?
Right. I just see so many uses for this. I mean, with the flavors that you have in there, there's a lot of things you can put it on, use as a dip. I mean, there's.
Yeah, I mean, take this same thing and add a chunk of cream cheese in there. Chip dip, done
Right.
right away. Yep.
Wow, love that. Love the flavors.
Let's see our consistency there. That's a good, not too thin. Kind of runs off the spoon nicely though. Kind of coats it though. Remember, nappe coats the back of the
Yes,
spoon.
absolutely.
So that's what we want. I mean, you can be thicker if you want, you can be thinner if you want, but if you're any thinner than that, then it's not gonna coat your lettuce very well, right? So we
Right.
wanna remember to coat our lettuce. So this one too would be a permanent emulsification. Once we now have emulsified it, it'll always stay in this form. It won't separate. Wow. And
Wow,
just
that's
like that,
amazing.
2 dressings.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
That. Everything else? Well, I think we're ready to bring in our salmon. Let's grab our cookie sheet here.
Perfect.
Our tongs are here.
Yes.
How's everyone's salmon looking at home? Everyone ready to go?
Salmon time.
It's amazing.
Woo! Smell that, Sam? Yeah, look at that. That's it right there, money. Nicely cooked, firm, little bounce, but still squishy is that's what you're looking for. I was telling our cooking class that what we're looking for is see the fat coming out the top there? That's exactly what we're looking for.
Fat out the top.
Yeah, and once you see that, if it's coming out the top, you're done for sure. As you start to see it coming out the sides here, that's how you know we're ready to go. So for those at home, be
Take the
careful.
plank, put it right on your pan. Boy, that smells great. Too bad you can't smell it through the camera, 'cause it is
I know.
great, Chef.
Some of that Wonka vision.
Wow, look at how these look amazing. It looks so perfect.
Smell that cedar.
Now, does everyone's look like this at home? Can you guys show us a picture of how your salmon turned out? Wow. Prepping for the plating?
We're ready to go. If everyone is, all we gotta do now really is salmon on greens. If there's any extra ingredients you want to add, now's the time. When I make salads, and what I like to do is I like to toss a little bit of the dressing in with the greens, just a little, slightly. Reason being is then it's all coated right away.
So maybe get a bowl.
We can
maybe
do that.
Do that.
Yep. And then the other part is when you have other ingredients, like let's say you got some cucumber, you have some tomato, you got some bell pepper, anything, got red onion, anything you really want to put on a salad. I keep them off to the side so that way when you build salads, you can build it and all the ingredients then go on top so that
Perfect.
you notice once you throw all your ingredients into a bowl and you start mixing a salad and everything falls to the bottom
Always.
because it's heavier than your lettuce. So as you mix, it just falls below. So if you coat your lettuce just a little bit, then it'll allow your whole salad to get the dressing, right? But then if you keep your other ingredients on the side, it allows you to then build salads, especially when your guests are home, that you can give them the salad that they're looking for as well. So if someone doesn't like onions, they don't have to have it.
I love the idea of coating it, tossing it a little bit before you put all the stuff in, because you're right. It's so hard to do it afterward, and it doesn't stay on.
Yeah, because once you go and it's hard to like mix it, right? And
Absolutely.
my salads usually dome up over the plate
Right.
anyway, so mixing that's not really a good thing. So
Absolutely.
we'll just take a little bit of the greens. And we're gonna go with the citrus dressing with this guy.
Nice consistency.
So just all that was a spoon.
So not a lot, you know, we
No.
don't want to coat it too much, just a light coating.
Yeah, and all you do is now stir in your bowl. So that it does coat some of your salad a little bit, and then you can finish on the top as well, so no big deal. So we got that, so we'll put this guy on our plate here. Now,
How's it coming at home? Are you guys, do I see Jennifer? Are you saying, are people showing their pictures? Not yet?
so since we're gonna serve salmon on a salad, we left their skin side on the plank, right?
Right,
So right now would be a good time that we're gonna take that off.
that'd be a great time to take that off.
Most times, you should be able to just pop your salmon off when the skin will stay on your board. Like such.
Or it's definitely separating.
Mhm.
Even if it's not completely separate, it allowed it to separate quite a bit.
See how it just slides right off?
Yes. Oh, that looks fantastic.
And then nice little fresh lemon on top. And whatever other ingredients you want.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Smoked salmon salad.
Lovely. And easy and quick.
Super fast, right?
Absolutely.
So you saw how fast, once we cut the salmon into individual portions, how much
Absolutely.
faster it cooked. We also did this on a higher temperature. Well, I would recommend slowing it down a little bit. And the only reason being is that you're gonna get more of that smoke flavor. And
right.
that's if you prefer that. So if your preference is some but not a lot, then this is an easy application, right?
Love it.
But if you like more of that smoky flavor, turn your temperature on your grill down and let it cook longer. And then that will allow you to capture that.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Now for leftovers.
What do we do for leftovers, you're asking?
Yes.
Well, conveniently enough, we can make tacos.
Okay.
We have some fresh pico de gallo
Perfect.
of just some stuff that was lying around. We got some shredded cabbage, some stuff that was just lying around. What I like to do, I need a frying pan.
Okay. Right
This
there.
guy will work.
We're showing you now how to use your leftovers.
Some tortillas, some avocado.
Perfect. Or if you have someone in the family that doesn't want the salmon salad, but you're making the salmon, someone else could have the tacos like Steve.
I'm gonna have salmon tacos. So for those of you who need to know how to make a margarita, you take your tequila, preferably silver, a little bit of sweet and sour, a little triple sec. I like amaretto and a little bit of Grand Marnier. Blend it up, and then I'll show you how it is with the taco.
So when I heat my tortillas, I never throw them in the microwave. Always on a pan.
Yes, you don't want to throw it in the microwave.
Never want to throw it in the
No.
microwave. I don't like a rubbery tortilla, right?
Right, exactly.
So always nice high heat.
Just high heat, but no oil on it, nothing,
No
just
oil.
high heat.
You can put oil. I prefer not to. That's just my
Okay.
thing. Reason being is I like to get a crisp without it being soggy, right?
I like that too.
So all we're gonna do is get these guys going.
Perfect.
want to get them nice and heated up like that. You can go lightly crispy, you can go crispy. When you're using corn tortillas like this, you can put a little oil in there and get them a little crispy if you'd like, right?
Okay, so
Just
you
be
have to just
careful.
like it a little bit, right?
Yep,
See,
just be
otherwise the oil
careful.
can be-
Absolutely.
It's not as easy to handle.
No,
there's
if
oil
you
in
got
there.
oil in there, you'll be using tongs. The reason we'll double them up because you'll see how soft they get as we
Yes.
heat them up.
We always eat them double too. I
Yeah,
understand.
makes it a little easier, right? So those guys. Go, just one set there.
Perfect.
I separate them at first, because in that way they'll allow the tortilla to heat up nice and evenly. And from here, you can make them as crisp or as soft as you want. All we're
Wonderful.
doing is basically heating them up so they're nice and pliable. They're warm when you go to eat them.
Perfect.
You don't want them to get too hot. If you're working with flour tortilla, remember high heat like this, they're gonna crisp really
Right,
quickly. So
right. So the corn.
it's real
freezing
quick.
corn.
Yep, these ones are corn. So a flour
Perfect.
tortilla, they'll crisp really, really fast. And
Absolutely.
all you'll do is just a couple seconds on each side. Tacos are ready, everyone. Make your tacos,
Oh,
right?
perfect.
So nice, like I said, long day at work. You got some leftover smoked salmon. What can we do with them? Here's an opportunity to utilize that. So we'll go here, we'll go here. We'll take our littlest piece of fish here. Let's see. And all we want to do is, you're just gonna flake it. You don't want to crunch it. You don't want to.
Cut it. You
No,
really just
just-
want to flake it
Yep,
apart.
you want it to be nice and meaty, like such. Take a little bit of your salmon. Like that. A little bit of fresh cabbage. The avocado process. Slice. You take the back of your knife.
Okay, that's a good trick right there.
Did you see that one?
is a really good way
We'll
to do it.
demonstrate it again. Take your seed out. Make your slices. So the skin's pretty hard, so you'll take the tip of the knife and cut it down and just run it along the skin. So you're gonna make it as, as thick as you want. And then you take the back of your knife, same thing, take it all the way into the skin
Perfect.
and spin it around like that. Get all your avocado out. Make some tacos. Such.
How's it look, Chef?
I think it's looking pretty good.
Really good.
Got my margarita made. We need a little pico de gallo.
A little pico.
And then
That looks amazing. No, you don't want to put that.
And then. Nice.
Perfect.
And there you have some smoked salmon tacos.
Looks amazing. That is a great way to use your leftovers.
Absolutely. Grilled, chicken and all that. That's pretty simple. And if you got some leftover grilled chicken, the easiest way to heat that up is in a frying pan. You cut it up, a little bit of water into it. So all you're doing is rehydrating and heating at the same time, as opposed to throwing it in the microwave and only drying it out.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
do we got any questions out there? Anyone
How
got
did
any
your
questions?
salmon turn out? We want to see some pictures. I think we need to see some of your pictures.
Yeah, it turned out amazing.
Steve's over there eating the tacos.
I had to go ahead and try the taco. This is what we put in the margarita tonight. And the taco is absolutely amazing.
That's a great second way to do it.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
Should we put this in the oven? No, don't forget.
I know Betty Jo sent us a picture of her salmon earlier. It looks delicious.
Wonderful.
I don't know if she wants to show us again. But it
Were
looks
there
like
any
they're eating
questions?
it.
Everybody's eating?
Everyone's eating?
All
That's
right,
a
then
good
we were
sign. That's a
successful.
good
We want to
sign.
thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you, Chef Jude, for
Thank you.
showing us how to make smoked salmon. It looks spectacular and we're excited to try it. And join us next month for our next chef event.
We're doing some brisket burgers next month.
That's right.
Yeah, some brisket
right.
burgers with some grilled corn and black bean salsa.
Wow.
Yep,
Just right around the 4th of July.
that's right.
So
Start up those barbecues early and we're gonna go ahead and show you how to utilize it a little bit more.
that would be fantastic. And everybody, thank you again for joining us tonight. And we look forward to seeing you next month.
And I have